Hi again, fellow unlicensed thinkers. I know it's been a while. I get around to it when I get around to it. I've been noticing a lot lately that the climate stuff has been coming back. People talking about the climate change or global warming or global climate warming change or whatever nonsense thing, whatever nonsense term they want to use this time, because it was that back in the 70s you can go and watch a show with Leonard Nimoy hosting it, and I believe it was like In Search of or something, and he did a whole half-hour show about how we were entering into an ice age. And then soon after that, we were entering into this global warming. And then the term global warming started getting called out because it wasn't really accurate and it was easily disproved by a lot of things. And so they then changed the term to climate change. Now, all of this comes across as very deceptive, but what we need to remember is anyone can be bought. Scientists can be bought. Like a scientist in our mind, in our imagination, is this person who goes and they can do anything they want. They can do any research they want. They can look into anything. They have this magic power to discover things. But what really happens is they get funding. And they don't get general funding. Hey, here's some money. Go do whatever you want. No, they get funding, and that funding says, I want you to go do this. I want you to create this. I want you to find this. And that usually is something related to how the person or organization doing the funding can make some money. That's how the world works. It isn't ideal, but it is what it is. And so anyone can be bought. Doctors, scientists, all of that. Now, again, I've been hearing a lot about the climate lately. And it's important to think about what you're not hearing. So we can think about what we are hearing. That's easy, right? That thing's right in front of me. It's like I did another video about species going extinct. And so it's real easy to look at that species that's right in front of you and say, oh my God, they're reducing their numbers, and the change in their environment is killing them, or whatever it might be. So we need to save these whatever animals. But we think about the thing that's right in front of us. We don't think about the other thing. We don't think about the species that's going to come into existence because it now has room to move into that habitat because this other species left. All of the species that exist now exist because they replaced something else. And so that's our tendency. We tend to think about the thing that is right in front of us. And what I've been hearing a lot lately is about how in the U.S., and I'm sorry for everyone in other countries, I'm sure you're doing wonderfully, and I hope everything's going well, but I live here. And so in the U.S., they're talking about the west side of the U.S. having the driest time in 1,000 years. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the driest it's been in 1,000 years? And they can look at all the records for this, and they can, whatever their core samples or layers of earth or whatever, they can look at this and they can say, this hasn't happened in 1,000 years. Oh my God, we're all going to die because of this global climate warming change. But wait a minute. It's the driest it's been. It's the hottest it's been in 1,000 years. What aren't they saying? What they aren't saying is that 1,000 years ago, it was drier and hotter than it is now. Interesting. So 1,000 years ago, long before anything related to an industrial revolution, it was drier and hotter than it is now. Yet somehow, this is supposed to point to us causing it. But what else aren't they telling you? Well, here in Texas, oh my God, like it gets hot, but it won't stop raining. This is now my third summer in Texas, and the other two were not like this. they didn't have this much rain. So they're not telling you that. They're not telling you about all of the different places. They're only telling you about that which fits their agenda in order to frighten you. So they can't frighten you by telling you that if you talk to people here in Texas, people in Texas are like, oh my God, this is a lot of rain. We don't really see this. But they're telling you about other places that are not getting rain. They're telling you about places that are getting hotter. They're not telling you about everywhere. So you are missing information. And that's always really important. Especially when something fits what you want it to say, what goes along with what you normally think, what is your agenda. Think about what am I not hearing? What are they not telling me? What is missing from this discussion? What if I look at the other side of it? And this is actually a common argument for a lot of the climate change things. And I've heard this one before, and one person, I'm not calling you out, you know who you are, love to talk about it sometime. But they recently, in a discussion with me, made an argument that I've heard a number of times. And this argument is, well, the earth is warming faster than it has in 22,000 years. That sounds pretty terrible. I mean, oh my God, look at what we've done with all these cars and factories and whatever else. Look what we've done. We've made it warm faster than it has in 22,000 years. So what the fuck made it warm faster 22,000 years ago? If this is all our fault, if this is something that we need to be so afraid of, what the fuck happened 22,000 years ago that caused it to warm so much faster than it is right now after all of this industrial revolution? Well, let me tell you, it's got to be something else. It can't be us. And so a lot of this is done to make us afraid. Don't be afraid. Think about it. Really think about it. Think about how scientists can be bought and paid for, how scientists are bought and paid for. That's how they get to do their research. Think about all of these things because it matters. It matters in how your opinion is being swayed. And I hope you guys all have the best freaking summer ever. Have a good day.